Have you ever asked yourself how a generation that came from, how do I put it, from Egypt experienced God's miracle in the wilderness? In fact, it started with the parting of the Red Sea, and then manna falling from the heaven, water coming out of the rock, and just saw the miraculous of God. How can they suddenly come into a place and they're about to enter the promised land? And Moses sends a spy, and they come back and says to Moses, 38 of them, we can't take the land. The land can swallow us up. Why do you think that? From believers to doctors to unbelievers. Do you really think that's why it is? I don't think so. These people were God's people. They've experienced God's miracle, His blessings. Undoubtedly, they were convinced that God is the God of the supernatural. I'm right here at the Nairobi International Airport, the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. I'm waiting for my flight to Kigali. I just decided to do this video to inspire somebody. But how can that generation go from being believers to doctors? No, it's not that they didn't believe God. It's not that they didn't believe that God can allow them to take the land. But here is the point. These people were so used to miracle, and they were not able. They couldn't just make the adjustment to allow God to do it through them. But then they failed to know that you must go from the wilderness to the promised land to possess the land and make it your own. You have to own the project. You have to internalize the mission and make it yours. It's no more about miracle. It's about God doing it through you. And only Joshua and Caleb were able to recognize that, to know that God is not going to do this thing without me. If I must possess the land, it has to be through me. I have to go from experiencing the miracle to living the result through me. We are in such a time. It's no different than it was then. We're in a time that believers want miracle from God. We want breakthrough. We want the supernatural. Instead of internalizing the project and knowing that God is not going to do it without me. If we want to make the impact that we need to make, you need to internalize the project. You need to internalize the mission. Is this a ministry? Is it a business? Is it a vision that God has given you to accomplish? You got to stop expecting the miracle. The era of the miracles are over. The era of just expecting prophecy and God speak to me. No, you got to internalize the project and make it your own. That generation of the wilderness was so much filled with the presence of miracle and holiness, and just, I can remember. That reminds me of Peter, James, John with Jesus on the Mount of Transfiguration. The Mount of Transfiguration, right? Where they're saying, can we make you 3 tents so that we can get here in the presence of holiness? No, Peter, you need to go out there in the ghettos, in the byways. You got to win souls. You got to internalize this project and make it your own. You got to turn the world upside down. I'm speaking to you believers. This is about time to internalize God's project, make it our own. God is not going to do anything in the world without us. Why are you expecting miracle? God is expecting you to do it.